The question is the motion be agreed to. Call the member for Goldstein.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and it gives me great pleasure and to thank the member who moved this motion, because it gives us an opportunity to advocate for a strong economic growth agenda as the most effective means to address unemployment. The Coalition wants job growth, Deputy Speaker, because in the end, job growth provides the opportunities for Australians to stand on their own 2 feet, to be independent in their own financial affairs and to be able to help support themselves as well as their family. But one of the most important things about people standing on their own 2 feet isn't just that they're able to help themselves, but they're also able to help others. But more importantly, we want strong job growth as Liberals because we want taxpayers. We want people to share the burden of managing the costs of our society so that we can help people who are most vulnerable, to be able to assist people for those who are not in a position to change their circumstances, such as people with a disability or pensioners, or to be able to underwrite and support the important health services that people need across the country. That's why we believe in job growth. That's why we stand for liberalism in everything we believe in, and that's why we're achieving it under the Turnbull government. Because the role of government is to create the environment for economic freedom so people can go on and enterprises and invest and offer opportunities to Australian job seekers. The reform era of the past 30 years has enabled unbroken economic expansion, and that's an exciting thing, because it has enabled the opportunity to create jobs for the 21st century, so capital can be directed to opportunities to create jobs for the people who need them, and so we can always stay ahead of the pack, rather than the reactionary mindlessness of protectionism which has previously existed in this country and been dismantled, where we saw shipping, telecommunication, airline industries which were deregulated, and enterprise bargaining superseding centralised wage fixing, and the tax system has also been modernised. What that's allowed is business and enterprise to move capital to invest into the future, and that's what we should want. As a result, only a dozen economies are bigger than Australia, and only one country is richer by per capita wealth. We must continue this economic progress and advocate for economic openness and remain firm against the growing anti-globalisation sentiment which, frankly, we're starting to see from the other side as they seek to replicate Donald Trump's sentiments because they think it will give them some sort of political leg up, something that I'm very concerned about. Because the justification for economic rationalism is to protect or to, quote, save local jobs. But history shows it does exactly the reverse. When are they going to learn the lessons of history? Protectionism will do little more than entrench unemployment in Australia and favour those who have invested in the past and support and protect their industries at the expense of exactly the same people they claim they want to get jobs. The difference between us and them, Deputy Speaker, is that they're interested in protecting the interests of those people who are members of unions. We're interested in creating the opportunities for people who don't have jobs. The quality and quantity of the jobs of the future rely on access to overseas markets, allowing us to export our competitive services alongside our natural resources and value-add manufacturing. That's right, the economy is built from the bottom up. It isn't just delivered by some government bureaucrat in Canberra. We're about community control, not about Canberra control. Unproductive areas of the economy will always attract technological disruption, and we are producing more with less, which requires flexibility in the labour market. We know that high unemployment protection has a negative influence on youth unemployment levels. While it is true that there has been growth in underemployment, economist Tom Kennedy has stated that the employers are increasingly seeking working arrangements with the flexibility to adjust hours rather than have positions bound on them. Over the past year, the number of full-time jobs dropped 0.4%, while part-time employment increased by 4.6%. That's more people employed in diverse sectors, meeting modern lifestyle flexibility arrangements. Full-time work, of course, is preferable for many people, but not everybody. But while many people, and that's particularly for women, for instance, who are balancing circumstances around family arrangements, and we should stand up for them and create the opportunities for them and not try and dictate to them how they live their lives. But while many people are engaging in multiple part-time jobs, those who argue for inflexible industrial relations are now the enemy of workers' security. Because when you don't have a situation where people can get jobs and they're bound only to do it based on what the Labor Party and the trade unions think, they won't get jobs in the first place.